Right then, let's turn an end grain Japanese style bowl. Okay, on the lathe I have a piece of a beech log. It's about 8 by 8, right, and it's in end grain orientation. And what I'm doing this week is I'm turning a Japanese style bowl. It's based on a tea bowl, right? Normally when I do Japanese bowls, I do hirigata style, which basically means it's a low bowl, right? This time, and I know I have some Japanese subscribers, they'll probably correct me on this pronunciation, and do please, I'm doing a Wan Nari, right? What that is it's basically a classic shape for a wooden Japanese bowl, for a wooden Japanese tea bowl, right? As I said, I have a piece of beech in here. There's a couple of cracks in it, but we'll sort them out as we're going, right? And it's end grain. And I was asked a number of times about hollowing end grain. I've done a full video on end grain, right? And I'll leave a link up there and a link below if anybody really wants to go into end grain and hollowing, because it's something I love doing. I love doing end grain bowls. But the basics are: stop thinking bowl. This is a giant spindle. That's what it is, right? So stuff goes backwards to bowls, and the way you cut, that kind of stuff, right? I'll talk about it as I'm going through it, right? But if you really want to see an in-depth look, have a look at that video I mentioned before. Right, first thing I'm going to do is round it off. I want to put a tenon on it pretty quickly because I want to get it into a set of jaws. So I'll just do that and we'll get going. Right, we're in the chuck, so we'll just make sure she's round to the chuck. Right, now we're round the back of the chuck. Now I need to square that end off. So then squared up. So we tie the stock back up. Right then, now as I said, I am doing a Japanese Wan Nari style bowl. And something with a Wan Nari bowl is it has a very large foot. So I need to mark an area for the foot. So that's going to be the foot, that's going to be the bowl. Now to make it easy on myself, I'm going to cut into that foot. I'm just going to give this a quick rub of the diamond stone first though. Right, now we can start shaping the bowl. So I'll give this a better edge first though. Right now, these bowls are compound curve, right? Turn this off. Right, the curve comes from here in a slight curve down to over there, and then it turns a lot sharper into that foot. So that's the shape we're gonna go for. Now, for anybody who's shouting at the screen at the moment, you're cutting the wrong way, I'm actually not. Remember, this is a giant spindle. I'm cutting downhill on a spindle. Remember, you gotta, when you're doing end grain, you've got to stop thinking bowl. Working mainly on this bottom curve at the moment. Here I'm just getting stuff out of the way, so I'm not too worried about finish cuts as of yet, or shape. Now I'm going to go to a continental spindle gouge to get this top shape, because remember, I'm working on a giant spindle. Feather at the bottom there. Get that shape, a slight bump there. Get rid of it. Feather in, feather out. Let's have a look at that shape and see if I'm happy with it. It's actually not too bad. I'm just checking for all the cracks as well that I had in this. I don't think they went all that deep, but I'm just checking it. That seems to be okay. Now, I'll give this a sharpen and we get a good finish cut on that. I need to make that a little bit sharper. The shape is just a little bit wrong there. That's more like it. That's more like the shape of it. Right, now I need to bring that down slightly more, because that needs to go in under there. Right. So look, yeah, that's good. Right then, let's sand that. I'll be back in a sec. Alright then, just doing the Yorkshire Grit. And sorry if you can hear like a noise in the background. It is absolutely lashing rain. And I'm in a metal shed. So hopefully it isn't interfering too much. Right then, this week I'm gonna go into kind of the crossover between the old religion of Tuatha Dé Danann and when Catholicism came into Ireland, right? You know, Bridget was one of the Tuatha Dé Danann's most prominent goddesses, right? Like, this was after they'd gone underground and stuff. As I said, they were known as the fairy folk and gods, right? Now, she definitely had her own worshipper, and some of them called her the triple goddess, believing that she had 3 different powers. She was the goddess of healing, the goddess of music, the goddess of fertility, and in some instances she's also referred to as the goddess of agriculture, right? She descended from the original Tuatha Dé Danann, who had always used like magic and wisdom and skill, right? Now, apparently, the ancient Celts in Ireland were not the only worshipper of this goddess. Some islands in Scotland also worshipped her, and all of them remained faithful to their goddess throughout the years. Well, it took a slight detour when Christianity arrived in Ireland, right? Bridget had to evolve in the religious aspects of what was going on, and she did so because she faced massive pressure from her followers, and she wanted to remain as a goddess who was worshipped, right? If not, sure, she would have kind of faded because there was no one worshipping her. It's like the old stories you've heard of. The gods survived because they were worshipped. That was like their food, right? Now, she evolved into a well-known Catholic saint called Saint Bridget. Now, because Bridget was part of the Celts' lives, and she evolved from being the goddess of sun and fire into Saint Bridget. The latter one, Saint Bridget, was just a new version of the same goddess, right? However, it was more suitable for the new Catholic religion for her to switch in her teachings, right? And this transformation resulted in who was now referred to as Saint Bridget. Now, that's the legend part of it. where one of the Tuatha Dé Danann, rather than lose their godhood status, changed. But the other version of that is when Catholicism came into Ireland, that the church couldn't get people to stop worshipping some of the old gods, Bridget being one of them. So they amalgamated the old gods into the religion in Ireland. And that's how come we have Saint Bridget. She's actually one of the Tuatha Dé Danann gods. I just thought that one was kind of interesting to see how the old religions were folded into the new. So I'll keep going with this, and I'll be back when I flip it over, because strangely this time I'm not putting the wax on this now because I need to finish that foot first. Right, so I'll do that. I'll get this flipped over, or hollowed, so should I say, not flipped over yet. I'll come back when I'm hollowing it. So we'll see in a sec. Right then, back hollowing. Now you can make back hollowing very easy on yourself, right? But the main trick of it is to have a hole in the middle, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure how deep I want to be, put it up against my chuck to see where I want to be, right? And I'm just going to drill this out down to the depth I want to be, which is right on that shoulder there. So we'll do that first and we get on with this then. Now, drilling into end grain is not like drilling into soil grain. It's actually much harder to do, and you've really got to be careful, because what you're cutting basically doesn't like being cut this way. There we go, mark the shoulder. Right then, that's the drilling done. Now I'll try and get the macro camera down as close as I can here, so you can actually see what I'm doing with the tip of the gouge. So I'll set up for that and I'll be back to you in a second. Hopefully you can see that. I'll just grab my ball gouge wherever I put it. There it is. Right, hopefully you can see that. And now we'll just start to back hollow this. Now what I want is, I want the cutting edge smack on center, going in flat. Now the only thing that might give me a little problem is, you see that knot there? That could give me a slight problem. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start back hollowing. And because I'm on end grain, I still want to be cutting downhill if I can. So I'm not going to just go straight in and start pulling. I'm pulling out in like an arc, just going deeper each time. And the thing with end grain is, your tool has to be sharp. You've got to keep your tool really sharp doing this. Now, back hollowing by its very nature is slower. Get the cut across there to make sure that tip is clean. So nice clean cut there. I want it very square, because that's where these balls are. Right, it's nice and clean. Right, back to back hollowing again. Now, I want to get that tool rest in there a little bit. And that's about the width I want this bowl. With back hollowing, you have to be patient. As I said, it's not as fast. Just a slow, steady pull. Right, I'm going to sharpen this gouge again, and I'll reposition that macro camera so you can see a bit better. Hopefully you can see the tip of the gouge a bit better from there. The wall bit right. Yeah, well, it's good. And the only thing when you're back hollowing is stop frequently to clear those shavings out, because you cannot see what you're doing if you don't. Right, now down here where I'm getting to the curve, this main curve here, this is where you can have extreme problems when you're back hollowing, because basically your brain is working not the way it's used to working. Right, you're used to pushing into one of those curves, but what you've got to do is you've got to pull into it and figure out exactly where you have to stop. Which can be quite difficult at times. Let's see where I am on the curve. Yeah, okay, I'm there. Right. Alright, now I'm down at the start of that turn now. So I'm going to have to start turning this as well. Here it out again so we can see what I'm doing. Yeah, that curve is forming nicely. Got a little bump just there. Yeah, I got it. Right. Now we're nearly at the end. Remember to keep that curve. Then we're nearly there. Now there's hardly anything left there. There's a mark of the drill bit and that's about it. So this is where it can get a bit touchy when you're right on the bottom. You've got to be very careful with your tool that you don't catch it. Ridge just there, I need to get rid of. It's hard to see in there at the moment because I'm getting my own light. Yeah, I got it. Right. Now, that little nub at the end there, where the tip went in, where the tip of the drill bit went in, I'm going to do that with the negative rake scraper. Because if I go down there and try and back hollow, I'm going to ride right on the tip of that. Which, when you're back hollowing, you want kind of a wide blade. You don't want a really skinny one. Right, now it's time to finish the inside of that, and then we can get on to this base, which, as I said, is a bit different because the bases on these balls are done a certain way. So I'll get on with that and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, just buff the wax off the inside. Shape is good and the proportions look about right to me. And as I said, I haven't finished the outside of this because I've still got to work on the foot. Because in Japanese bowls, the foot is just as important as the bowl. For those interested, right, in doing Japanese bowls, there is a chart available, right, for bowl shapes and for foot shapes. Right, so what I've done is I've uploaded it to Google Drive, and anybody who's interested can just go and grab it, and I'll leave a link below to it, and you can just go and grab it there. It's something that all turners should really have in their workshop, just for reference. And there we go, here's the inside done. Right, now all I gotta do is part this off and then I can get working on that foot. So we'll do that. Let me flip it around. And we get that foot sorted. Right, now we're set up to do the foot. The first thing I want to do is make sure it's round. And that the walls of the foot are straight. I'll make sure going across here is flat, the start of it anyway. Take down the height a little. Yeah, that's looking okay. Now what I gotta do is I gotta hollow that foot out. As I said, the feet on the Japanese bowl are just as important, and that document that I've uploaded has a guide to the feet in it as well. That is as close as I can get with that. So now I need to sand and finish the foot, and I need to put the wax on. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Right then, and there we have it. A nice little Wan Nari. As I said, the pronunciation is probably wrong. Bowl, done in the Japanese style with a wax. I'm reading these because I can't remember them. Wakodai foot on it. Right. And as I said, if anybody wants to look more into Japanese style bowls, I've left a link down below to a PDF of all the styles, and it includes all the bowl styles and the foot styles. So if you like that one, I got that out of it. If you wouldn't mind clicking like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one.